This is a video I've been meaning to make for quite a while now. And it is, drumroll please, The Lazarus Project. Rebuilding my first PC. This is going to be the first video of a series. I'm just introducing the project now. I'm going to do some build videos and then some videos with the system once it's done. So let's get to it. So what the hell am I doing? Well, I'm doing exactly what I'm saying. I'm rebuilding my first computer. And that means using original parts where possible. I still have some of them. Where necessary, I'll use similar substitutes from the era. And I would like to try doing some upgrades that I just didn't have back in the day. But what am I building it for? What am I going to use this for? Well, mostly to play retro games. I want to try some of the games that I had back in the day the way I would have played them at the time, to see if they really live up to my childhood memories, I guess. I also want to relive the experience of building and troubleshooting these PCs, because it's very different than modern plug-and-play Lego bricks hardware. And of course, just to have an interesting conversation piece sitting on the floor once it's done. So I am limiting the scope of the project somewhat. I am building a Socket 7 AT system running Windows 98, using a mix of original, substitute, upgrading new parts, original where possible, substitutes where the originals were lost or broken, upgrading to a few things I never had, and a few new parts for certain wear items, and I want to try some games and make a video out of it. However, it's tempting to push performance as far as possible. You get the fastest parts that'll work, but then why not just go to the next generation? It'll be cheaper and you'll get more performance. Good example of this is Tualatin, the last Pentium 3. You can build the fastest Pentium 3 system, but why not just build a P4? And you go down this upgrade trap logic, and the next thing you know, you have a Core i9 and a Titan V. So it's necessary to kind of limit things explicitly from the get-go. And in this project, my limitations are that it is a Socket 7 machine with an Intel processor. There will be no Super Socket 7, there will be no K62. And I'm going to use the original motherboard if possible. It's not the best motherboard, but if it works, I'm going to use it. I'm still kind of undecided about keeping the Pentium 133. So let's go through some of the parts I'm going to use. The processor, like I said, I'm undecided. I still have the original Pentium 133. It's not in great shape. The upgrade option that still fits within the criteria established earlier would be the 233 MHz Pentium MMX, and I actually do have one of those in hand, and it's in much better shape, so we'll see about this one. The motherboard is a virtually unknown. It's a GA586 ATMP made by Gigabyte. It's an early Socket 7 board from, I believe, 1995, and there's very little information on this board available. Mine's in pretty bad shape, and it's not a great design, but I'm going to try to use it if I can. If not, I do have a substitute on the way. RAM, 64 meg EDO DRAM, nothing special. It's cheap from eBay if I need more, but I actually have plenty. The video card is an ATI PCI Mach 64. It's my original one. I'd like to use it if it works. This is a 2D accelerator. There's no 3D. I would like to add a Voodoo card. I never had a Voodoo card back in the day, but they're pretty expensive, so I don't know if I can justify it, but we'll see. The sound card I had was a Sound Blaster 16. Mine is broken. I picked up an AWE 64 on Craigslist, which is more capable. It's not really the right sound card. I'll see about getting a different one, but I'm pretty sure that one works, unlike my Sound Blaster 16, which is missing parts, so it'll do for now. For a hard drive, I'm actually using a Kingspec Disk-On module, 4 gigabytes. This machine had an 800 megabyte hard drive originally. It later had a 3.2 gigabyte. The Disk-On module is more similar to the latter. Some people really like old spinny drives. I don't. I have nothing but bad memories of them. As a kid, I would kick the computer and basically data loss, crashes, all kinds of bad shit, so we are going solid state. I also have a DVD drive that's too new, some random floppy drive, the classic Gotek floppy emulator as recommended by many other YouTube channels. I'd kind of like a 5 1/4 drive, but I don't actually have any 5 1/4 discs, so And the power supply is this ridiculous overkill thing. This is an XFX Core Series Pro 650. I had one like this in my Sandy rig. Got this one off a friend for really cheap. And it'll do. It's like ridiculously overkill, but it's a little big and has a lot of cables, so I'm not entirely sold on using this particular one. I am going to be using an ATX power supply through an adapter, not an original AT power supply. I don't really want to deal with those ones. You can get new ones, but it's the same designs that we had back in the day. They're very inefficient, very poor topology, and they tended to die. And I might actually be able to get the right case. If not, I'm going to find something to put it in, but I'm really excited that if I can actually get this one. We have a line on it. It's coming, maybe, I'm not sure. My dad is actually the one getting this, so we will see. Fingers crossed. And the operating system, Windows 98 SE, second edition. This is the OS it ended its first life with. It has some nice features over Win95. It is also slower. Typically, people install this on much newer machines, but this one, it did seem to run it relatively fluent for the day. We shall see. I do have the original installation disk, so we'll be using that. The peripherals, unfortunately, I can't get the original ones. I know what they are. I had a Focus FK2001 keyboard with a big-ass enter, US layout, and Windows keys. It's about $200 on eBay for one that's beat to shit, so... The mouse, I think I had like a Microsoft Serial mouse. Interestingly, this board actually supports PS2, if I can find a header for it. The monitor I had was an Acana 15-inch. I think at one point I had a 14 or 17, but that's the one I remember. I don't have room for a CRT at all. I'll just be hooking it to my HP 1740. I remember we had the cheapest speakers going, but I'm probably just going to hook the line out to my Blaster X G5 and listen to it through headphones. So yeah, that's it. Right now I'm waiting on the power supply adapter. I have everything else I need to at least fire up some of the components and test them, but I'm really waiting on that power supply adapter. I am waiting on a few spare parts. I don't have a case yet, and I'm still hoping to get some of those upgrades and other parts that I didn't have, but we will be starting this project shortly. Expect to see another video on it in the next couple weeks, if my power supply adapter shows up. I've been waiting like a month for that, but there are alternatives. Anyway, please like, share, and subscribe. Check my Twitter. I'll be posting some updates on this there, probably before the video comes up. And see you next time.